still steal your illusion. And that illusion will still have mono burn, but you know, what can you do if he was the SMJ? Stormster being forced away to zip twice here, and he does have a regen rune, and more importantly, a Scythe device up. One of the earlier Scythe. Again, I'm surprised that he's actually doing this well. I think he was getting blown up. I thought he was getting blown up.
It seems like he hasn't done a whole lot, honestly. But like every team fight, it seems like he has trouble with it. But 7-1-3.
That's a power storm. You don't die.
200 CS. Yeah, you just ball laning, man. Vici Gaming doesn't have that many disables other than the silence, so it is possible for him to escape little ganks like that.
Well, all of us kind of favor Vici Gaming, just the fact that they have, you know, more known players or more stylish plays. And right now, Gods is the only one calling Chuo Rising Star. Or Rattlesnake. And they're doing it. Right now, Lamb is level 18. He's got BKB Scythe. There's a Butterfly now completed on Juggernaut. Queen of Pain's going to be working towards her own Scythe. Got the BKB completed. The full-on suite of late game. And look at Kabu right now. Mech and Pipe. Like, I just feel like they're just one item ahead on every single hero. And if they want to take a big team fight now, as long as they don't get 4-man cog, they should be okay.
And they are spreading out once again. Guess they don't want to have to try to push high ground. All the outer towers are all missing, so they've already collected all the gold on the map. That's simple for them. So if they, but they have a mech pipe. I mean, they could go high ground if they really wanted to. Here.
Or Roche. Now you see Rocket Flare going to the Roshan pit. Check it out, and that will. It means Icy's already there. Healing ward. They know Roche is happening. The big thing also here for Vici Gaming, which they haven't been doing the last couple of team fights, is they gotta kill that healing ward.
Yeah, it's a huge percentage of HP in every team fight. You're basically gaining 50 to 90 HP. Here's the hook shot in. He pops BKB as well. Great ARB. Sorry, that's mostly actually cogs go down. And another Vortex. He's taking some good right click. Scream Pain as well. There's going to be some more right clicks on the bear. The bear wants to entangle anybody, but he hasn't gotten anyone yet. Stormtree again balls out. Still has not much mana left, but we'll be aiming for it. Juggernaut pops a huge ulti. Actually, Visit is going to go down. Manta splits out of the entangle to try to stay alive as long as possible. But all that's left over is the bear and maybe some cleanup here. Spectre cleans up on the Naru, but great juking through the Roshan pit as Storm wastes a lot of mana.
Well, ZSMG is still alive right now. Roshan is down to about half HP. Healing Ward, by the way, down about a couple seconds, but I think they're going to take another fight. Rocket's going to come in. There's going to be Clockwork Cook again. Ooh. There is Axe Scepter, so the cooldown is already back up. They can focus on ZSMJ down to about quarter health. Where's the focus, though? The bear actually go back in the bear form. I'm not sure why he was in human form in the first place. He's going to get focused. The Purge comes through. ZSMJ wants to man fight, but these crits, 2 crits in a row. RNGG up 3 crits. I see.
I think that was a regular hit, actually.
Well, it felt like a crit because it hit those so damn hard.
There was a big number that popped up.
Yep, there you go. That's a crit. It's red.
I don't think it was. It's just very low armor on those guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But
well, ZSMJ being forced to buy back out, so any late game implication from him is gone. Can they actually go into the Roshan pit right now? Because the Radiant's pretty low themselves. Lamp back to somehow full HP, full mana. They still scouted out with the Rocket. The bear gets resummoned. XCD, there's no more bear resummon. If they kill this one, I think they recognize as well a ton of nukes. But where's the Impel? Neo a little bit slow on that. And the bear gets to live, but I just don't think they could challenge the Roshan. And I don't think you could give away Aegis on... Oh, the bears are coming in. Or sorry, the birds are coming. I don't think you give a Aegis on the Juggernaut. Oh no, they think you give it to Storm. Very interesting. They also popped the BKB on Storm. Maybe as a mistake. Not sure.
I guess they saw the game where Korok decided to steal an Aegis, and they're still a little scared from things. So.
Well, Korok was stealing Aegis as a Storm, and
that is.
I guess there's a Clockwork I do it. Maybe.
Yeah, he could like hookshot in and pop his BKB.
The big YOLO plays.
The yellow plays. Yep.
Well, now Luo's going to be going back top to defend this tier 1 tower. Nice move. Generally, a lot of players are like, alright, we're ahead, let's just push down mid. And as a result, like that, the enemy gets a free tower. But Rattlesnake showing that poise and trying to finish that Scythe. I think she bought back in the last fight. Seems like she did in terms of goal output here. So, going to be about 800 go away from that. No, going to be going for Shivas.
Wow, really? That's very rare, actually. In almost all cases where you're able to afford a Mystic Staff, you buy a Sheep Stick, just because its ability to shut down enemy carries is very, very important. And the kinds of things that this stops, it does stop dispersion. I know it will stop evasion, but I can't remember if it shuts down dispersion.
I'm not sure myself, so... I mean, I guess if you look about it, it makes decent sense, because the bear is you know, doing a ton of physical damage output. Spectre, if he's not critting Desolate on you, is still kind of insane damage because she has Fusel Blade level 2. And having minus attack speed is not a bad addition. They have already a decent amount of single target lockdowns. Storm Spirit with his own scythe with a pull. I guess, yeah, sure. Also adds a ton of AoE damage to your team. I personally would have preferred a scythe, but it increases her survivability. It makes her more of an AoE threat. I don't think it's a bad item at all.
I think it's a great item. The attack speed reduction is huge. They're going in again. The only person they gank is the bear, so the bear's going to go down. We even see a concussive shot to try to slow them down a bit. Here comes the bear. He's got 120 seconds, and then he is all out. It's going to be an AC. Yep, AC finished with an armlet as well as a maelstrom. So this bear actually hits quite hard, and they should have a good chance of defending here.
Yeah, I mean, making that jump on the bear is absolutely free because you can't really. What are you gonna do? Rescue your bear by initiating? Like, you're not gonna do that. There comes a call coming in as well. The pipe gets popped right now. We talked about the early power of a mech pipe really allowing to go out to high ground. And yeah, they're working on this tower. Killing More not being dropped as yet. Icy being somewhat focused. Clockwork Hook's gonna come in. Where's the Cog? Spectre haunting as well, but everybody popping those BKB, and that means all your supports are doing no damage. CTY in the middle gonna get blown up here. Omni Slash doing so much work, and the rest of Vici Gaming will just die to that Storm Spirit. Scythe not even being used just yet, but it doesn't matter. I think Rattlesnake will take game number 1 after they take this melee racks.
This Juggernaut is just completely continuing with farm, and it's not changing. He actually picked up a BKB as well. Good game is called, and Vici Gaming loses their first game versus Rattlesnake here, so a little bit of an upset, but really well played by Rattlesnake all over the place. The Juggernaut just never died. He continued to get new items. He got a Butterfly picked up. The Butterfly gives you tons of attack speed. His ulti was great. His basic right clicks were really strong as well. And Vici couldn't stand up to it with their early game Spectre build. Yeah,
I mean, the Spectre not being able to go for a late game build because of a Darkseer. And kind of this random, I say random because I've never seen a draft coming out from Rattlesnake like this where you just go Storm, Quab, Juggernaut. None of these are true carries, but if they all have items, they're all fine semi-carries, and that's kind of what we saw. Clockwork Hooks were decent early, but ZSMJ kind of died too many times, I feel like.
Yeah, he did get picked off bot lane. He's died 5 times according to the draft. He bought back as well, I believe, at least
I think once. Yeah.
So that really delays his core items as well, and he never really got that much up. And unfortunately for him, the Storm Spirit continued to snowball. He was like 7-1-6 at one point, which didn't seem accurate. I was like, did he really not die this much? But yeah, he kept getting his farm up. Same goes for the other core heroes. So that's my impressions of the game. What do you guys think over at the desk?
I'm sure Ali would disagree with something.
We'll find out what exactly that is. But to me, the cool thing is just Rattlesnake's drafts. They love to sort of have these massive semi-carries. It's one of the reasons they're one of my favorite teams in this qualifier. They had 3 semi-carries, and their other 2 heroes aren't even true supports, really. Nyx Assassin, you can argue, is, but Darkseer, a utility hero. They managed to somehow fit this all together and come up with a winning draft.
Yeah, I actually thought both the drafts were sort of cool. On VG's side, you sort of had like a a Clockwork to isolate someone, so Spectre Haunt does full damage on them. They'll be isolated for Desolate, and then Spectre got the Diffuser, I think, so that you don't have to blow Skywrath outside on someone in the cogs. You can Diffuser someone and blow it on them instead. So that's 2 people dead, or I think that was their plan, but it felt like their picks, they weren't really able to do enough with the supports.
The 2 supports seemed really out of place and awkward. They didn't really fit in. They weren't good gankers. They didn't scale well to the mid to late game.
I mean, Skywrath is very good against their heroes, in theory, but like Storm got a BKB and could just go on him every fight. Like, if you aggressive tri-lane, they weren't really able to find a kill, so the supports were just really under level.
They didn't have any real setups, and I guess you can look at the Grave Chill, but it doesn't seem to be a convention. It seemed to me more like they needed the Visage Spectre with something more standard, like a Jakiro, any sort of stunner.
That's sort of what it felt like to me. Because it was very hard for them to have kill potential on bot. They did kill a Quap, I think, once.
Quap was actually
twice.
I mean, Quap got really shut down. Yeah, Quap at one point, like 25 minutes in the game, Quap was 0-5 with 1 assist.
Yeah, but I mean, like in that tri-lane, you can't just shut down an enemy hero. Yeah. You need to. Like, it's not like you're shutting down a Spectre or something like that.
Quap wasn't the hard carry.
Yeah, you need to be able to actually get kills, I think, or rotate once you have the advantage. I really liked the Storm Lanham's movement. He did something really nice in mid lane where he got an early magic wand, so CTY would never have that kill potential on him if he got mana burn. And CTY, he actually played mid lane really well. He was winning
He was
similar
winning the
CS,
CS a little bit.
but he had like
bit.
10 denies on him.
Yeah.
And range heroes only get 18 EXP from a deny, so the denies are actually really important because melee heroes get 36. So he was actually doing quite well in that. But Storm just got that double cut top, and I think he did a lot of work that game.
Yeah. The other big thing, I mean, you look at, they shut down the Queen of Pain, but the way the Rattlesnake draft worked is they actually have three core heroes and a Darkseer, so shutting down one isn't enough. And the way the Vici gaming lamp worked is they could only really shut down one hero. They had the tri lane, then their other 2 lanes weren't really winning lanes.
Yeah, but I think that's the first time I've seen a Spectre aggressive. Well, like I've never seen a Spectre aggressive try really work out.
Okay.
But I think ZSMJ, I would have liked him to play a bit closer to towers, and then Visage, whenever he had bird summons up, like he could resummon them, he would send his Ode birds to ZSMJ. So if he ever got ganked, Clockwork could TPN, you'll get 2 stuns off with the Visage birds for sure, because Nyx's Impale, their only AoE stun doesn't hit birds. It's Impale base, so that would give time for Clockwork to hook in. And as CTY showed in like the 26-minute fight and the 28-minute fight, his cogs were actually phenomenal. The first one, he pushed the Storm before BKB. Like the Storm jumped in and he got the cogs on him, which is really hard to do actually. And it burned his mana. The 28-minute fight, he actually zoned out the Darkseer completely.
Okay.
He hit Darkseer I think twice with the cogs. I didn't quite see, but I just know that Darkseer had no mana after and he cast 0 spells in that fight.
Yeah, the first fight when they actually killed the Storm looked like a almost turning point for Vici gaming. From there, it looked like they could maybe claw their way back in, but I think ZSMJ just got caught out a few too many times.
Yeah, he did. And I mean, the Lone Druid, he played pretty well because at top, what he did was he got a few levels and he just went to jungle, which I think is really smart because Darkseer and Jug have really good kill potential on a Lone Druid actually. Like, you don't have Root, even if you Orb of Venom, they have a surge into an Iron Shield Jug with Spin, which is 150 DPS at like level 3. Plus another Iron Shield on the Darkseer.
That's the other thing. Looking at the way Rattlesnake landed, they went for a weird offensive. Yeah. Sometimes they do the Darkseer Clockwork. This was Darkseer Juggernaut.
Yeah, that was a pretty cute aggressive like dual lane actually. I really like that. It's very well tailored for the Lone Druid.
Yes.
And I think
it also, even if they go up against the tri-lane, they do okay. What if they get the tri-lane and the Queen of Pain, Nyx get the off-lane Lone Druid?
I felt if they get a tri-lane, then Darkseer can just go to a jungle.
Okay.
Jug's not a terrible sack hero. He can sort of force a couple levels maybe, and then Healing Word will always be useful. Omni Slash, it does extra damage based if you have enough attacks to do extra attacks, but it still does that pretty high base damage.
Do you think the game goes better for Vici Gaming if they went with the safe lane tri-lane? Because then they just have Lone Druid as an off lane.
Yes, I do, because I felt like Rattlesnake. Luke's confusing me with like Rattlestars and Rising Snake. But I felt like Rattlesnake
poster boards or something.
Rattlesnake couldn't really prevent the bear from pulling it.
Yeah.
And he would have been able to just pull pretty freely.
Yeah.
So
you just Nyx Assassin support can't really do anything to the bear.
And I mean, Jug Darkseer, it's sort of cute, but I don't think it's winning against that tri-lane at all.
Okay. Well, guys, that concludes the Game 1 analysis. We'll be taking a quick break. When we come back, we'll see if Rattlesnake can do what I predicted, the 2-0 victory of Rising Stars, Vici Gaming. Blame Loomis, or whether Vici Gaming will bounce back and CTY ZSMJ's team can strike back, take Game 2, and force a Game 3. We'll take a quick break and be back soon.
Hey guys, we're back with Game 2 of Rattlesnake versus Vici Gaming. Game 1 went quite well. Rattlesnake takes a win off of Vici, something that a lot of us weren't expecting, other than Gods. The seer of California knows exactly what's going to happen.
The real seer of California is actually Blitz, but he's maybe watching, he's sleeping, he's not here right now. And let's actually move into Giraffe, as it's actually really going rapidly. Vici Gaming, I believe they had the first pick. Yes, they had the first pick and first ban. Nyx Assassin, Bat Rider is going to be banned. Shadow Demon and Kunkka being picked up here, and Lone Druid to round it out. Meanwhile, here for Rattlesnake, it's going to be Darkseer, Clockwork, and Queen of Pain with a Lifestealer and Wisp ban.
So Vici gets the hero that LGD has been most likely hoping to get the whole night, and that's Kunkka, actually. The hero has been seen more and more play from the Eastern scene. The hero is pretty good, most likely with level 6. We think Coco's Rum, strong skill, right? It's the boat damage is good, but what the ulti does, it applies a buff to you and your allies that not only makes you run faster, but also offsets the damage. So basically, you only take half the damage from a nuke, and then once the buff goes away, you'll take the other half. It can't kill you, but it basically means that it's really, really hard to burst down single targets. And there's a lot of bursting going down in this tournament.
Yeah, well, in this game right now, I mean, Clockwork's going to basically a semi-burst hero. Even though he doesn't seem like a Queen of Pain, all her nukes are burst, and then Darkseer with the wall and Vacuum on top. And yeah, you're going to be low HP. You're going to be, lumbering away if you even survive. But a lot of these team fights are decided in that first 8 to 10 seconds. So if you get a huge tanking advantage, which you always do with the Coco Realm, I mean, you're in a good advantage to win that team fight. Of course, Kunkka, great laner early on. I'm not sure whether she beats a Queen of Pain.
I would say no. I mean, you can just play really aggressive. If Queen of Pain just positions herself where Kunkka can't even hit the creeps, then she won't even be able to splash, or Kunkka won't be able to splash without a dagger being landed. So I think if Queen of Pain plays fairly aggressive, at least by level 3 or something, then she can dagger as well as trade hits with Kunkka. And the only way he's going to get damage off is if he either gets close to a creep and uses the splash, or if he connects directly with the Queen of Pain. So I would say it's probably Queen of Pain favorite matchup there.
Meanwhile, we see a bunch of mid heroes being banned out here from Rattlesnake, and also a Silencer being banned out from Vici Gaming. I know my Chinese team love to play support Silencer, but when you don't randomly just ban out Silencer. It feels like maybe Vici Gaming going for a little bit of wombo combo themselves here. You have the setup of Shadow Demon, Kunkka, and a Skywrath Mage. They're going really for these. I mean, ST setup with Kunkka and then a Mystic Flare. That's a free kill on just about anybody that doesn't have a BKB.
Yeah, maybe it's not going to be a mid Kunkka. Maybe it's going to be a tri-lane. I mean, the Shadow Demon kind of reveals that, like you said, 2.5 second disruption, and then land a Torrent on top of that and throw another Disable on top of that. That's probably a dead hero. And Spectre.
Gonna go with the Spectre again. I mean, the Kunkka tri-lane, like on paper, because you're gonna go Disrupt into Torrent and then you kind of right-click on them, but by the end of the day, you're using 2 spells to only actually hit 1 nuke, and the Kunkka Torrent isn't exactly your biggest nuke in the game, so you're gonna land those nukes, you're gonna land the harass, but it's actually very hard to get that kill because, again, you're using a bunch of spells to actually hit a nuke. And Skywrath Mage isn't exactly a high damaging support
until you hit 6.
Until 6, and well, who knows when's gonna happen. And we're gonna see Omni Knight coming out from Rattlesnake. I think DK ran Omni Knight in the G1 LAN finals, and it wasn't exactly the most well played. Is this a support Omni Knight or a support Clock coming out from Rattlesnake? Because it's one or the other. There's no in between.
Yeah, I didn't actually catch that game myself, but the main benefits of Omni Knight are Repel, his second skill. It's like a free BKB for your allies. So we talked about this before with Dragon Knight, how he kind of needs 2 items to be effective. Maybe the Repel is going to be going on Dragon Knight. I mean, it's Dragon Knight or maybe Queen of Pain. But there's not even that many nukes on Vici. But like there were counters last game with Skywrath versus Queen of Pain and things like that, they can have one hero just completely skip BKB and go for a damage item instead. So maybe they'll get a slight advantage by having the Omni Knight.
I also want to know, ask a question if maybe Ali or Purge know, is when you're silenced and you drop the repel, does it debuff the silence?
Yeah, it should, I believe.
Like, for example, if Queen of Pain gets silenced and then you repel her.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that's a very valid reason as well. Like, I don't think the repel cast range is high. In fact, it should be like mediocre. So I'm not sure how often you could get that rescue to your ally, but it's a pretty big deal if you kind of debuff Skywrath Mage's best spell, because not only does the silence, also applies a big damage amplification or a magical damage amplification. So if you could debuff that, that's a pretty big deal.
And it's also going to stop a lot of what Spectre is working with as well. Spectral Dagger won't do any damage. Dispersion won't do any damage. I think Desolate still goes through, if I'm not mistaken, as does the physical damage of the right click, but it does stop a lot of the Spectre stuff. So it could actually help Dragon Knight carry against the Spectre, if that's what he's going for, since he is in the mid lane. But if this does go late, it's going to look a little weird for Rattlesnake.
I mean, let's actually quickly look at and introduce the players here. We're going to have Luo playing Queen of Pain once again. Had a tough start last game, but it was able to catch up. Neo or Sag-M, usually their support player will be handling Omni Knight. You can see that in his inventory, he's definitely playing support. Icy, generally the one row is going to be going mid lane this game on Dragon Knight. And then we're going to have Kabu on the support Clockwork, going to be supporting Lamb on the bot lane, on the Darkseer. So we're seeing double melee support. I've never actually seen anything like this before.
Well, this is the dual lane that started popping up over this last week to counter the Lone Druid solo. You just put Iron Shell on these guys, you get Battery Assault, and you run after him and he dies. Because usually you're going to be able to kill him before he ends up hitting 6, and that's a great advantage for you if you shut down the Lone Druid a lot. So it's not necessarily going to be like this. Spectre's actually going to be there instead. So, I mean, it kind of works against any melee carry, basically, is what it kind of looks like to me. Because Lone Druid could be anywhere, but likely based on the lanes, they're probably not going to aggressive Spectre tri-lane, which happened to work out last game. So, yeah, if they can even get any kills on the Spectre at all with this dual lane, it's pretty good. Both of these heroes could offlane themselves, so when you have two of them, it doesn't really create a lot of weaknesses, and if anything, just increases your damage output.
Yeah, this is actually a very, very powerful dual lane offlane. A lot of Western teams, for example, Team Dignitas, like to run something like this. It's, again, once you get to level 2, this lane just doesn't die. Even against most aggressive trail lanes, Cogs and Surge just kind of, they protect each other, like you said. And more importantly, they're not really that weak to zoning from supports as well. Even though they're melee heroes and can't really harass back, as soon as they turn on you, they have South Shield, they will tank. And it looks like Hasten's getting kicked out by Kabu. A lucky pickup here. And they could kind of walk in the lane and get themselves some free XP.
Yeah, he hasn't placed his second Observer Ward yet. His first one has gone on the high ground here, so see if he goes in and blocks the pull, or if he just places it in the lane somewhere, like one of these spots to try to stay alive. Swinging in the jungle now. He's got about 10 seconds until the creep camp spawns, and he does not want to place this while the enemy is looking at him, that's for sure. Because if they actually do have a sentry on Skywrath Mage, so he does not want to get this counter ordered.
Wait, where's the second ward? Did he pass it off?
It's at by the top Roshan spot.
Oh, okay.
So a little bit of a gank on the mid lane here. Icy takes a ton of damage, but luckily for him, he brought a salve as well as the Tango to lane. So the Disruption as well as the Torrent combo do not kill him, but it was quite close actually. Really nice gank there.
Wait, I'm confused. Where is the second ward on the ground? I want to see one more.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I missaid, but he had one in his inventory. I don't know where it went. No.
Second one just disappeared.
I swear he had one in his inventory.
Yeah, me too. I saw it. Now it's gone.
Did he destroy it? Oh, maybe he's like super meta and like hid it in the trees or
yeah,
something.
dude, that's so next level.
I'm
well,
looking
we'll
for it,
see
but
later.
I feel like this is not appropriate use of my camera.
Meanwhile, FY as well as Caboose.
Tier 1 bot. Alright, thank
it's
you.
hidden
There
in
it
the tower. Okay.
Super hidden.
Next level mid. Also, back in the mid lane, it's going to be SD Kunkka dual lane mid against Icy's Dragon Knight. You just see this observer on the hill, and it's going to basically scout a little bit towards Icy's cliff. And that just means that sometimes if you're chasing the Dragon Knight, if he goes over the hill, he's safe because he's fogged, but not against this. They will still find a disrupt on you and set you up. So Icy should be very careful how he plays this lane.
Yeah, they have the easiest ever torrent setup, so they can consistently just nuke him down. And again, magic damage is a nice counter towards anybody that has good armor. He actually doesn't even have any skill points in his stun yet, so if he does get comboed, it's going to be pretty bad for him. And it doesn't cost him that much mana to do it, especially with the bottle pickup on Kunkka now. He's going to be absolutely happy to rinse repeat this combo.
Meanwhile, we do see... Oh, are they trying to dive on the bot? Yes, they are right now. Kambu in big trouble, but actually he's fighting again. The Surge is going to go on FY. Now the Surge is running out, and look, the contested charge still lasting. ZSMJ looking for the kill. Iron Shadow will be driving him away. Looks like everybody will back off. FY, you got to be very careful when he's taking those man fights, because he's working with 0 armor, which is not a lot to say the least.
Yep, and they backed off just in time. South shields actually do help a lot, though, blocking a large percentage of hit player or creep-based damage. They do the combo again on the mid lane. It looks really bad for Dragon Knight. Great blocking, and that's the first blood. They swung around Saw the Shadow Demon coming from this way on the map, and then they must have done a Disruption Torrent on that. And he's actually maxing out Torrent, because this is reliable damage here. And again, the magic damage is fantastic for comboing, so...
Yeah, the big thing about what they did there was they were able to do a ton of physical harass first, because if you just do ST Disrupt into Kunkka Torrent combo, you don't get the kill when he's at full HP. But when you do it when he's moderately low, a couple of right clicks to follow, once you're slow by the Torrent, you know, you just kind of pick up on a free one. First Blood goes in the form of Vici Gaming.
So the Lone Druid is level 1 at the moment. He's still pulling the creeps around a bit, so having a lot of EXP troubles in comparison to the Clockwork Darkseer. We have a Disruption. Looking for some silence, possibly. Silence in a second. Oh, man, the Surge at perfect time is going to get him out of there completely. Surge, he's very close to the tower, and yeah, he's going to absolutely make it, so no problem for him. Great Surge from the Darkseer, and just a perfect example. If either of those guys were solo there, they would have died, because there's no way that the Darkseer would have casted Surge on himself fast enough. Clockwork just casting Cogs on himself wouldn't have been enough either, so really cool that they can put 2 tanky heroes in an off lane and have really succeed.
Meanwhile, Lone Druid on the top lane, unfortunately, does not have anybody surging him. Will get picked up by a solo kill of Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain didn't even use her ultimate. In fact, that was a level 4 kill, so just evidently that by herself will actually pick up the kill. More importantly, though, when Finra rotated bot to, unfortunately, not really successfully get that gank, Dragonite was able to actually get in lane and get a ton more CS than he previously had. Still losing the lane pretty much 6-0 to 25-5, but
wow.
I mean... When there's a Tidebringer denying you every 2 seconds, and when there's a Shadow Demon zoning you out, you can't really expect for anything else.
Yeah, it's not very fun to be dual laned on the mid lane. You usually expect it to be 1 versus 1, but if they can just decrease Dragonite's farm, literally the only way he can get CS right now is by using Breathe Fire. It's just not safe for him to come up otherwise, because a Soul Catcher as well as the Disruption are just going to increase the Torrent damage by a lot. And when he hits 6, it's just going to get worse. They're going to increase his nuke damage by 300 with a simple extra 150 mana. At such a low cooldown. Oh, almost Disruption here on Dragonite, but he canceled it. They can't get the kill now, though, because he has a haste rune, so...
Yeah, maybe that's why he's seen the haste rune and go off. And there's really no reason to force any kills that you don't think you get, considering the fact you have absolutely free farm, he doesn't. And again, you have much a safer chance to get that kill at level 6. Now, this is a build that we've seen a lot out of Xiao 8 on LGD, which is basically you max Tidebringer by 7, and then you actually go back to X marks the spot. It's a very reliable initiation, especially against heroes that, for example, could displace themselves with Blink or Surge. So, we'll see if that's the build that he ends up going for. Has the face boot already finished? And if Dragonite shows his face now, he's going to be dead. In fact, he realized it. We'll go back to the jungle, farm some level 1 newts.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice here, and especially with the haste rune, he can try to control the next rune in about 40 seconds with the extra movement speed without chancing too much of his survivability. So the other Omniite, how's Omniite doing? So this is a pulling Omniite, by the way. This is how he's getting EXP in farm, just continuously pulling, and he's only level 4. He has 5 CS, by the way, so not doing the best here, but he's getting
actually
levels.
More than Lone Druid. Like Lone Druid's at level 3 right now, so I feel like the mid lane is railing really hard, but that's the only lane that's railing really hard. I want to say Vici Gaming's losing the bot lane because the 2 off lanes are doing a ton of level. In fact, there's level 4 on the Darkseer. Clockwork's level 4, I imagine, as well, yeah. And the top lane is getting crushed, so I think Rattlesnake winning 2 out of 3, not too bad.
Silence is again applied to Darkseer, but he surges out just in time. Spider sense tingling or something. Beard sense? Beard sense, definitely
Bear sense. Or the cone shape head sense.
What is it? Maybe it's a combo. Maybe you have to have a beard and the head. I'm not sure.
Well, Vici Gaming going to be looking for a little bit of pull on the bot lane. Again, Vici Gaming's not getting too much. They're still against the Darkseer this game, so ZSMJ can't really go for any Brawling Brush or anything. So I imagine some sort of a similar build coming out. Something that involves the phase, drums, and maybe early Diffusal Blade. That's the thing that really questioned me. We haven't really talked about too much, is that generally you don't pick Omni Knight into a free Diffusal Blade character, and Spectre is definitely one. So, I mean, how much do you really want that repel for that silence? Again, it's a good debuff, that's important and all. But at the same time, it's a free counter on the other side as well.
Yeah, it really is.
Disruption on the mid lane?
Yeah, Disruption. Soul Catcher lands on a dead creep, actually, and they're thinking about torrenting, but it doesn't happen. Kunkka's mana is actually not enough to do a full combo. It needs a bit more wand charges. And that actually did force out a TP, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and Queen of Pain TP top, and she's like, well, wrong place, wrong time. They're going to walk all the way back top. I'm going to miss basically a wave of VXP as a result, and a teleport scroll. So 200 economic damage, worth the disrupt.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the worst feeling ever when you TP to a lane like that, expecting Spectre's going to ulti. Where are they fighting? It's going on the mid lane. Dragon Knight, Dagger, boat's going to land on 2. Silence on Omni Knight, so he won't even be able to repel himself, and he also gets killed. Now, even if, hypothetically, he didn't get Silence there, it's actually a little tricky to cast Repel on your allies when they get disrupted, because there is a chance that you can land the repel on one of the illusions, and then you do nothing. It's similar to like Dazzle and stuff. It actually makes it a little bit difficult.